The Bengal Tiger offense, if we differ way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe
Livingston. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
On second down, Livingston. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and it's 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I think that's an example of how the game speed is different than in practice, because in practice, you might not be going full speed. A lot of guys in shorts coming your way, so it's going to be a big key to see how he adjusts to how the speed really picks up in this game, and if he's able to get rid of the football.
And think about it, Charles. That's the first time he's hit the ground with a sack since his high school days. He played in a couple spring games, but those were non-contact for the quarterback.
Yeah, they're wearing a different color jersey. No one hits the QB, even in the spring game.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now back to throw. They'll roll him out right. Wide open receiver complete. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from fourth down to first. Clemson now with a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Jewell, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try and throw for it here. Sliding out of the pocket. And he finds a man on the crossing route. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from fourth down to first. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he fires one incomplete. Clemson, of course, back in the college football playoff for the 4th consecutive year. Champions in the 2016 season. Trying to make it 2 titles in 3 years if they can get things done. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, man is caught at the 6-yard line. And he will take this in for a Clemson touchdown. Quarter touchdown passes. Point after. after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, Clemson back out there to kick this thing away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bengal Tiger offense, if we differentiate them, they are set for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Thomas, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Operating from the gun, Thomas. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead is swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bengal Tiger offense, if we differentiate them, they are set for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here. Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll run on 1st down. Livingston. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. On the ground, it's Livingston. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. The Tigers of LSU looking for their 4th title in school history. They were champs way back in 1958 and twice in this century so far, 2003 and 2007. Thomas will look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter, and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Now he's going to throw deep rights. That's caught inside the 20. And a huge play that time. 51 yards. 1st and 10 now for Clemson. Henry out of the pistol. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown Clemson. Elton Poe there to make the grab. And Clemson tacks on to their lead. So a blistering start to this first half. We wondered how this young quarterback would handle the pressure, and there is a lot of pressure. Well, how about 3 first-half touchdown passes? So after the touchdown, Clemson back out there to kick this thing away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there on the screen pass, and even 40 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. This will be a run with Livingston. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Thomas from the gun, he'll throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the... They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Clemson Tiger offense have to specify that. They're set for their next drive. But Charles, so much of this offense the last few years centering around the combination of Marcus Washington and Isaiah Streets. Streets saying Washington's like a second brother to him. And, of course, many know the story. Isaiah's older brother, Ezekiel, tremendous athlete in his own right, but lost too soon to leukemia a year ago next week at the age of 20.
And that is really a gut-wrenching story, as you know. And you look back at their high school days, right here in Texas.
Let's go.
Hey, kid. Just checking in with you. How do you feel about the first half?
That's how we're playing. Let's go. We had a great first half. We keep doing what we're doing, we might win this thing.
There's a lot of wheeze in that sentence. It's a good thing to recognize your teammates. But you remember, you're leading the charge tonight, all right? So get out there and let's put this thing away. Second half. Let's go.
Hey, Coach, really good job out there in the first half. I should have trusted you more. That's on me.
That's right. You should have trusted me. That's why you recruited me.
Well, I can't change the past. So, let's go finish this thing off in the second half. As a team.
Thanks, Coach.
The winner goes on, the loser goes home as we start the second half in this semifinal matchup from Arlington. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Clemson Tiger offense have to specify that. They're set for their next drive. And offensively here, you wouldn't know it by looking at it that Marcus Washington is not in the game.
That thought that maybe they would simplify the game plan?
Forget it.
Yeah, forget it is right. True that he doesn't have the game reps, but he definitely totally familiar with his offense, and now he's executing.
Second down and inches. Dancing to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that.
Single receiver. Hey,
Here's Thomas to throw on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. LSU with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Thomas. And he will find his man on the outside. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here they go with Livingston. And he is into the end zone for an LSU touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point attempt to come here.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
And this one through the uprights and good. After the touchdown, the LSU Tigers kick team out there to send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Clemson Tiger offense have to specify that. They're set for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. He's going to let this throw it across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, Deku. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Thomas looking to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Thomas now operating from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It'll